I'm Jonathan Frakes, Commander Riker from Star Trek The Next Generation, here to introduce 5'2", incredibly adorable, the Southern Mother of Dragons, Mayim Zadi.
Hey everyone, it's me, Amanda, and I have a special guest, my friend Zach. Zach knows everything about Alien and Predator and a whole lot of other stuff, but I've never had a friend that knew as much as him about this, so I'm really excited to talk about all of it because we have a lot of great content that's coming out soon.
Please visit Girls Nerd Out on Instagram or on YouTube for artwork that follows along with the podcast, and to follow Zach.
And you can find me there, but you don't have to follow me because I know what you're really here for. You're here for Amanda and everything. I'm merely just a guest. I'm just here to explain as much as I can. I don't know everything, but I know a good chunk.
I think what a lot of people get overwhelmed with is the Xenomorph timeline. I've spoken to people and I have heard them say that they didn't know that Prometheus was even in that timeline. And then that opens up like a whole bunch of questions. So I thought we would go like back as far as we can and move forward, and that would probably give a lot of clarity.
If you're a casual viewer of the Alien franchise, you probably just know Alien and Aliens. I have to say, the original script for what Prometheus was going to be, I think it would have been better.
I think there's some things that they rewrote and cut out that would actually have made things a bit easier to understand, don't you think?
100%.
So the engineers are this race and they're massive. I mean, how tall are they? God, they're very tall.
They are actually taller than the Yautja, the predator species. They stand between like 8 to 9 feet tall.
Dang. And they're unsettling to me. Like, anytime I see an engineer, it's very unsettling. They're massive. They have kind of like a white blue tint, and their facial features are kind of softened. So you get a bit of uncanny valley with it too. So it just makes it very creepy. They're very strong.
They have durability, strength, obviously intelligence. The very first one I actually want to talk about, the space jockey.
The pilot, sometimes referred to as the space jockey, was responsible for helming a spacecraft that crashed on LV-426 and was killed by a xenomorph chestburster. The body was discovered much later by Ripley and the crew of the USCSS Nostromomin in the first Alien film.
That space jockey, if you put two engineers side by side and two on top, that is what the space jockey's size was compared to the engineers we see in Prometheus. But this thing was massive. Originally, they were supposed to have trunks, and there was a comic book, and they had trunks and stuff. Because that skeleton you see wasn't a suit. It was an actual skeleton. Until Prometheus, they changed them to biomechanical suits.
Those suits are actually creepy too. It just adds to it. So we have the engineers, and we have one engineer that sacrifices himself to seed the earth with the building blocks of life.
Mm-hmm.
Here's something I gotta ask you about, which I think is so interesting. Jesus. I need to ask you about Jesus.
Oh, okay.
Wait a minute. Wait, Zach, do you have a moment to talk about our Lord and Savior?
Jesus Christ. Absolutely. Well, praise thee.
Praise him. There's a theory that I've heard more than once that the engineer sacrifices himself, the building blocks of life on earth, and then Jesus was sent by the engineers much later because humanity had started going down a dark path. And then Jesus is crucified, and that was one of the reasons that the engineers just gave up on humanity and wanted its extinction.
That is actually a misconception, I will say. When actuality, that the reason that engineers hate humanity is just how similar and just like on the same path as the engineers are. Well, the engineers are very controlling. They take, for example, the main villain from Guardians of the Galaxy 3, the evolutionary.
Mm-hmm.
Same kind of mindset.
Okay.
Engineers have a god complex about them,
Mm-hmm.
without any shred of a doubt. They actually have a long standing beef with the predator race, the Oucha. They hate each other.
I find that fascinating.
Yeah, it's because the engineers stepped on a lot of toes, a lot, and created some as well.
My notes of my timeline, I have like first century AD. That's when the engineers prepare a death ship to destroy their wayward children, which is humanity.
That is correct.
Yeah, so they wanted to just eradicate us.
Mm-hmm. They want us gone, dead as can be. Failed experiment.
Failed experiment. Wayland Industries and the beginning of that, or Wayland Corporation. We have Wayland and he creates David.
We can create cybernetic individuals who, in just a few short years, will be completely indistinguishable from us. Which leads to an obvious conclusion. We are the gods now.
That is correct. David is a synthetic.
Right. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he calls him David because that was the name he was going to give a son if he had had a son, right?
That is also correct. That is also
Okay.
correct.
Okay. So, which makes you think, okay, he's created this synthetic, he's named him David, and that's what he was going to name his actual son, so he's probably very attached to David. It makes you think that.
David was also named after Michelangelo's sculpture of David. You actually can see it in the movies itself. There is a statue of David that they look upon in some scenes.
And just in case you don't know, David is played by Michael Fassbender, who did a phenomenal job.
Mm-hmm. But this name is it connects to the themes of creation and nature of being like a manufactured being, which that is what David is.
Right. And he is the beginning of what would eventually be like Bishop in the original Alien.
That is correct.
In 2089 AD, Peter Weyland dictates a letter reminiscing about his mentor and their competition in the field of artificial intelligence. He's later reported to have died in a station above Mars.
Mm-hmm.
So people think he's dead.
Spoiler alerts!
Yeah. Anytime it says like reported to have died, yeah, nah, he didn't die.
I need a body. Peter Weyland is an awful individual.
Yeah,
He
he's a
is
bad person.
probably a good definition of what selfishness is.
Yes, narcissist, God
An
complex.
absolute narcissist. Because
Yes.
he's looking for immortality.
Yep.
He doesn't get it, everyone. He does not get it.
Oh, hell no, he does not. So, just to kind of keep everybody in the timeline, that's 2089. He supposedly died. 2092 is when Ellen Ripley is born, to just kind of give everybody an idea of where we are.
2042. HD8 85512b, Earth's first off-world penal colony, is established by the Wayland Corporation. Prisoners from Earthbound facilities are transferred there. Several other corporations begin to capitalize on the space age. Corporate-run mining colonies on the moons of Saturn and Jupiter become a reliable source of raw materials necessary for FTL travel. Alien 3.
Mm-hmm. With Charles
Yep.
Dance.
We love Charles Dance. Taken too soon in that movie. R.I.P.
Do you know when I started watching Game of Thrones and I saw him, he was so familiar to me, and I had to figure out it's from Alien 3. Yeah. I was like, I know this dude. Why am I already fond of this guy? Alien 3.
Yeah,
Yep.
that was also I think it was either that or The Last Action Hero.
Oh, love Charles Dance.
Now, since I'm not a complete idiot, would you like to tell me what we're really looking for?
Explain what happens on the Prometheus.
Utter failure. But what went wrong, you might say? Well, Earth's brightest people decided to go on the most advanced ship ever created at the time. And let me just tell you, they were definitely not the brightest people.
What hell did Waylon want the brightest, or did he want people that would just not ask questions?
He had some select few people that knew he was aboard the ship. Yeah, also, spoiler alert, Peter Wayland is on the Prometheus in a cryopod with the rest of the crew just so he could find one of the engineers and ask, hey, give me immortality.
Yep.
Want to know what the plot line I remember an egomaniacal maniac wishing for immortality went? Anyone ever heard of Dragon Ball Z? You know how many Frieza? Very similar. Also a terrible person.
Well, the crew thinks he's dead and has been dead for about 5 years. And they don't know he's on there, and like
No,
he's in cryostasis, right?
he is in cryostasis.
And they're like shocked because he's just like, "Hey, I'm here looking for immortality, getting y'all into some bad stuff." And David's with them.
Yeah, David is with them. Elizabeth Shaw and Charles Holloway. They're archaeologists. They're also religious.
In the year 2089, archaeologists Elizabeth Shaw and Charlie Holloway discovered a star map shown in the artwork of several unconnected ancient cultures. They interpreted the map as an invitation from humanity's forerunners, or engineers. Sir Peter Wayland, the founder of Wayland Corp., funded the creation of the scientific vessel Prometheus to follow the map to the moon, LV-223. The Prometheus's crew traveled in stasis while the android David manned the ship.
So that brings up the whole finding humanity's origins, questioning one's faith and everything like that, deep philosophical questions.
Yeah, and Elizabeth Shaw is a character you want to keep in mind because she plays a really big part in a lot of this. She's a Christian. And she has like a cross necklace on, and it's one of those things where I guess she thinks that they're possibly gonna meet God or get answers.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
They've been finding this same constellation in a lot of history around the world that leads them to the planet that the Prometheus will set out on.
And they think finding this constellation in all these different places is telling them to go there.
Exactly. They think they are following a map, basically.
Yep. A map from God.
They could not be more wrong.
Yeah, that's not the case.
Enter the ring, LV-223. Now, it is a moon, actually. It is orbiting a Saturn-like ring planet. David actually has been watching them this entire time. He has a machine that can see in their dreams. He literally can look into them sleeping and see their dreams and their brainwaves and stuff.
Without asking.
Exactly.
So you're starting to realize, wait a minute. David seems really nice and I'm fine with him. Am I fine with him?
David.
He's complex.
Complex doesn't even begin.
No. He's fascinated with humans because he's not one, and he's got the classic, I'm a synthetic and I want to be more human.
Until he doesn't.
Until he doesn't. Yes, that is correct.
You don't breathe, remember? So, wear a suit.
I was designed like this because you people are more comfortable interacting with your own kind.
David actually also has an obsession with creation.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was created, but he now also wants to create.
Mm-hmm.
This is a synthetic being. And his thought process is more in line with how a human would think.
Which would explain why David would be fascinated with engineers.
He also watched Elizabeth Shaw's childhood memory and relationship with her father and their beliefs in faith. David actually did find it was inspiring because he likes Shaw.
He's got a little bit of an obsession.
He's a crazy little guy. He's like, yo, I like her, but would it work out? There's no like deep romance, people.
No, some people like to ship that.
There's a lot of fanfics. Don't look it up.
No. Hell no.
David also actually loves Lawrence of Arabia. Loved it so much, in fact, he changed his hairstyle to fit the main character of that. Oh yeah, keep in mind, David's hair can grow.
That's how damn good the synthetics are. He can grow hair.
It's wild.
It really is.
Meredith Vickers, played by beautiful Charlize Theron.
Meredith Vickers was a Weyland Corp representative stationed aboard the exploration vessel Prometheus on its expedition to LV-223. She is skeptical of the mission and believes it is a waste of time. She is also the estranged daughter of Weyland Corp founder Peter Weyland.
So she knows what's going on, like on the ship at all times. They land on LV-223, and they start getting everyone ready and stuff. Peter Weyland plays his message for them when they wake up. He's like, by the time you watch this, I am dead.
Sure you are.
Now getting into the fun stuff. So they go, they get ready, they all introduce each other and everything. I just want to point out one character, actually two. Sean Fifield and Rafi Milburn. All of these people are idiots. So they go down and then they discover what looks to be like this dome-like structure that leads into a air hangar.
So the whole planet is like a military facility.
That is correct.
Okay.
So they go to one of them. They're going deeper inside, and then they come to an area where their suits are telling them it's breathable air. Here's what you never do.
Mm-hmm.
Take off your helmet on a planet you just landed on.
Yeah, they're going down there and acting like kids at a freaking playground.
Charlie Holloway removes his helmet and is just like, woo, yeah! Not taking into the account of unknown pathogens.
Just because it's breathable air doesn't mean that there's not other things.
We have Sean Fifield, and I want you to remember this. He's actually a geologist, and he actually maps out the entire facility that they're in. Then we have Rafi Milburn, who is a biologist. So, handles biology like life forms and stuff like that. So, they find a hallway, and they find the bodies of all of these dead engineers.
Mm-hmm.
And there's one actually that's got his head cleanly cut off by the door.
Yep.
So they take that head.
Obviously.
Yeah. David actually went on his own and actually found the cockpit and everything. And he looked at like all planets and everything. Actually, it's like there's a flute that actually can like control everything.
They can tell something not great happened. They're too excited to even notice.
Red flags.
Yes.
Like, there was an entire, hallway that got lit up with holograms of showing the engineers running from something. In the distance, you actually can hear a roar.
Something obviously happened there, but they're too damn excited to think, if something bad happened here once, something bad might happen again. Nah, it's fine.
You're gonna realize, everybody, that this will be a very common theme throughout the entire series.
Very.
The warnings were there. Did anyone heed them?
No.
No. So, then Fifield gets all freaked out because they find this, all these dead bodies. They find this whole room of canisters that have goo in them and stuff. So Fifield and Milburn, they decide to leave the ship and head back to the Prometheus. They get lost. The man who made the map got lost.
Yeah.
The man who had it on his wrist, the map, got lost.
The best of the brightest.
I'm sorry, what? So they make a turnaround and everything. Everyone's left at this point and gotten out easily, in fact, because they weren't there for long. They literally just found a head, found the cockpit, found the jar, and yep, let's head out. These men have been here for hours. So they end up back into the sealed chamber where the urns are in. And the thing is, they're leaking because they were in a sealed chamber, and now they're leaking. You can see streams of the black goo in this room.
Black goo was an extremely potent mutagenic pathogen, consisting of millions of small microorganisms that was manufactured by the alien species known as the Engineers. It was designed to act in a dual role, to create life forms and also to act as a biological weapon. Due to its volatile nature at ambient temperature, the Engineers house the pathogen within special containers. The only thing known for certain about black goo is that its mutagenic capabilities are responsible for the creation of abominations, neomorphs, and other abhorrent creatures. Simply put, any living thing that comes into direct contact with the black goo will either die horribly, give birth to monsters, or become a monster themselves.
You know what this is giving? It gives the same vibe of when you watch a movie and somebody is, messing around with ancient Egyptian tombs. And exactly. And it's like, hey, you know what? Maybe you shouldn't mess with that.
This would just be like the 40K universe if they read across the Necrons, which are basically robots, space Egyptians.
This was a sealed room, and there's this goo in these, containers. You know what? We should probably mess with it.
I'm funny you say that. So they're looking around. Something's moving in the streams of black goo on the ground and dirt now. And this vagina snake creature.
It is a vagina snake.
Comes out. You actually can see them. They were little worms, but it's rapidly evolved. So the biologist Milburn.
Oh, God.
A biologist. You know what? What we all know what he does.
He thinks it's cute, Zach.
Look at this beautiful thing. In all the systems we've ever cataloged, we have never found anything larger than bacteria. But this is life. We found life.
Takes off his glove. His suit's glove.
Ugh.
At it.
Ugh.
Because he's like, oh, come here. So beautiful.
And he really is talking like that. He really is.
This thing wraps around his arm, starts breaking his arm, and frickin' Fifield tries to cut it with a knife. It has acidic blood. It burns. his helmet visor melts onto his face. He falls into a puddle of the black goo.
Mm-hmm.
And Byfield is just, he's not having a good time. But then we go back to Milburn with the snake in his suit. This thing curls around in his helmet, then goes right down his throat, killing this man.
And what you're thinking when you watch this is, wait a minute, the cooter snake reminds you of a face hugger, and the acidic blood reminds you of a xenomorph.
Oh, I'm sure that will come back later.
It possibly. But while you're watching it, you're like, wait a minute. I think we're looking at something that's like a precursor. Yeah, you are. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Imagine not messing with the cooter snake and getting the hell out of there, but no.
But now Holloway is sad because everyone's dead.
Yes.
When the mission was to find the origins of humanity, you guys have found alien technology, an archaeological find of the millennia. And you're sad.
Mm.
Enter David, who has been fiddling around with some of the black goo. He's just looking at it, and my favorite quote, he's just looking at a dab on it after he got a little bit of it on his finger. He's like, big things have small beginnings.
Ominous.
Like a twirling mustache villain, he comes out with 2 drinks.
Oh.
And he's like, Holloway, buddy, are you okay? No, man, I'm sad. This whole trip was for nothing. Oh, well, okay then. Well, here's a drink. Did you just stab your finger into my water? No. You sure? Yeah. Oh, okay. I'll tell you now, David put that little black goo into that drink.
He did.
Yeah.
David is doing one of his first big experiments. The black goo it's confusing to some people, and I understand why. It's more than one thing, because it does have something to do with the sacrifice in order for the earth to be seeded. That's the same black goo.
Yeah, that the engineer sacrificed.
Yeah.
But I want to also point out that engineer, his whole body was like perfect and sculptured like the statue of David.
Mm. Yeah, that's a good point.
So symbolism. But the next engineer we see, we'll get to that, but there's something different about him that you will find really fascinating. So Holloway, after drinking, he's like, hey, Elizabeth, let's get funky. You know I can't have children. Okay, that was a weird thing to tell me, I know, because I've been your husband. But thank you for telling me all over again. Let's get freaky. Oh, okay. So they do it. Day 2 of this wonderful expedition. So they decided to go back. Oh, not to mention, there was this whole sequence where they brought the head back to life. They got from the dead body.
Yeah.
And exploded.
Yes, the captured engineer's head explodes when David, the android, attempts to revive him using a defibrillator. This occurs because the engineer is not simply a humanoid. He is a member of an ancient alien race with a vastly different biology and physiology compared to humans. When David revives the engineer, it triggers a violent reaction due to the engineer's body being incompatible with the revival process. The engineer's head explodes as a result of the sudden shock and stress placed on its body, which is hinted to be more complex and possibly more fragile than human anatomy. This scene also symbolizes the theme of the unknown and the consequences of humanity's attempts to play God by tampering with life forms beyond its understanding.
Again, messing with things you shouldn't be messing with. So far, what we have going on here is bringing an engineer's head back to life when you shouldn't, going into a place you shouldn't be, messing with a cooter snake, and messing with... I mean, that's what it is. I will forever call it that.
This will become a meme of the podcast.
Yes, it will.
Cooter snake.
So you see the cooter snake, you want to pet the cooter snake, it doesn't go well for you. Then we have, hey, let's play in the black goo, and nobody thinks anything bad is going to happen. So you get a vibe from that.
They go back, but then Holloway starts to feel sick.
Mm.
He's on the ship. He's noticing his eye is all fucky and everything.
Yep.
They all decide to go back to the ship because they want to find Fifield and Milburn. They do not.
They do not.
Actually, the captain that I haven't even mentioned, Idris Elba, fantastic actor.
Very.
When he was talking to them before this storm, like cut off communications and everything. Yeah, there's a storm, cuts out communications. That will be a theme in the next 2 films. But apparently there was another life form. You think it's maybe the cooter snake, but there's also a theory that it might be what killed the engineers.
Wait, is that what might have made the loud noise?
Yes, what killed the engineers in the recording. You can hear a roar.
Yeah.
And that same roar is from the Deacon from the end of Prometheus film.
Oh, shit.
So originally, they were going to include basically these, what they were calling them, these ultramorphs. So basically, like, engineer xenomorphs.
The Deacon marks a significant stage in the mutations caused by the black goo pathogen. First emerging from an engineer on LV-223, the Deacon had unique characteristics somewhat similar to the neomorphs, and can be considered to be a prototype variant of the xenomorphs. The Ultramorph was a xenomorph variant cut from Prometheus early in its production. In original script titled Alien Engineers, an Ultramorph was born from the pilot. For more information on the xenomorph variants, including pictures, please check out Girls Nerd Out podcast on Instagram or YouTube.
Okay, and see, I had to ask you what the Deacon was. If they had included that, it would have given clarity.
Leaving it ambiguous sometimes helps, but in that case, it was not one of them. It left more confusing questions that will never be answered unless a comic is made, which then, no, everyone will ignore because everyone always ignores the comics.
Well, you hear them talk about the Deacon and you wonder what it is. And it obviously looks like a xenomorph because it's what? There's like something there. Like, isn't it like carved in the wall, like a picture?
Yes, the mural. Oh, I forgot to mention. I should have mentioned the mural. There's a mural of a xenomorph.
Yeah.
And the crest of it, if you look further, it looks like the crest of an alien queen.
Yes.
So, how can David, apparently creating, and I don't think I mentioned this yet, apparently David creates the xenomorphs.
But they already existed.
You can't create something. You can make your own.
Okay, so a Deacon is before xenomorphs. How big is a Deacon?
See, now that is an interesting question. Because apparently in the comic it becomes the size of a mountain. But if I had to guess going off my knowledge of how xenomorphs work, so take an average xenomorph will be like 7 to 8 feet tall from a human host.
Mm-hmm.
From a predator, it would stand out around maybe like 9 or 11 feet tall.
Mm-hmm.
And from an engineer who averaged from 8 to 9 feet, it probably would be a 13 tall monster.
Okay, let me ask you this. The Deacon, was that an accident? Or did an engineer sacrifice himself for it to be created?
That was an accident. It most likely something got out, some mishap happened. The theme with the aliens is there is no controlling them. Everything will go wrong.
Okay. And just in case people don't know, the really cool thing about a xenomorph is whatever it comes out of, it's part that too.
It takes the traits of its host.
It does. He just worded that a hell of a lot better than I did. But like, that's why there's so many different types, and like Zach and I talk about this because we're nerdy, but there's like some really really cool xenomorph figures that it's like a face hugger attached itself to different mammals, and then you get a xenomorph that's like part gorilla, part panther.
So many.
So that's why the Deacon's so big. It's because it came out of an engineer who's very big.
Yes. But the thing is, the Deacon is a lot different from Chestburster that we see in the very first film. But I'll get to that. Because the creation of this thing is extremely complicated. And it all starts with Holloway. Now, I hope you guys remembered he had sex with his wife.
He did.
Who cannot have children.
Yep.
Remember this now.
Mm-hmm.
Holloway starts getting more sick as they try to go back and everything. They get back and they can't find Milburn, Fifield, but Holloway starts to look like he's changing, and he looks screwed.
He does.
He is sick as he has like high fever, everything, and he's like convulsing at times.
Mm-hmm.
So they try to get back to the ship, but then Vickers finds out and like, okay, what the hell? She ends up being one of the smartest characters and not letting him back on board.
What the hell is this?
He's not coming on board.
Vickers, this is a sick man.
I can see that. That's why he's not coming on my ship.
She has a flamethrower at this point at the docking area where their vehicles get off. And the thing is, Holloway genuinely sacrifices himself just so he doesn't feel like that anymore. So he gets burned to a crisp and everything. He's dead.
Mm-hmm.
And during this time, Shaw starts to feel ill and everything. There's a whole things that are happening behind the scenes on this ship. But then David is with her, and they do a like X-ray or screening on her. She's pregnant.
You're pregnant?
God.
From the look of it, 3 months, sir.
No, that's impossible. I can't be pregnant.
Did you have intercourse with Dr. Holloway?
Yes. But 10 hours ago. There's no bloody way. I'm 3 months pregnant.
Well, Doctor, it's not exactly a traditional fetus.
She wants to get whatever's in her out of her immediately.
Because it's terrifying.
So she remembers that in Vickers' quarters, there is this medical capsule that is like high-tech advanced, can do surgery on you and everything. So she has a C-section from this machine.
Mm-hmm.
And it pulls out basically the Kraken.
Yeah, it does look like a Kraken.
And he pulls out this squid thing. And she gets out of there. She shuts the door to this medical room. And then she gets stapled up from the machine. I gotta tell you, the fact that she is sprinting and running after a C-section is the most unbelievable thing about this movie.
Yeah, it really is. Because, like, this thing is massive and it comes out of her. That's the trilobite, right?
Yes, that is very good, actually.
See, I try.
Hey, I didn't know you knew the name. Thank you.
I dabble. I dabble.
Good job.
Thanks.
But the trilobite...
Yeah, it's not nice.
It's actually a lot nicer than most of the things that he...
Yeah. Yeah, true.
He was just like, Mama, where are you going?
Yeah, that's also a reoccurring theme in the Alien franchise, is something coming out of a female and it's part of that person, but it's not a person, and it's like Mama, and you're like, hell no.
Oh no, don't bring up resurrection now.
Sorry, all right, I'm not bringing it up, but it is a theme.
Why did you do
I don't hate resurrection like you do, but it's because it's nostalgia.
I like Resurrection more than 3. I hate 3.
I don't hate 3, but again, I told you this before, it's nostalgia.
I know it is from nostalgia, but still, 3 is the worst.
Well, it's because 3 and Resurrection I remember watching with my mom, like, repeatedly.
You can have your nostalgia. It
Yeah.
just reminded me that it ruined what Aliens did.
Yes. And I totally understand. I do.
They killed them, man. They killed them. We'll get to that, but they killed them.
Look, we'll get into all that. This is going to be like a 20-part series, which is fine with me.
At this point, yeah.
The film Alien Resurrection garnered controversy primarily due to its human xenomorph hybrid, its perceived departure from the franchise's core horror elements, and its overall tone, which many fans felt was out of sync with the previous films. The idea of a hybrid, combined with the film's more comedic and action-oriented approach, clashed with the franchise's grim, suspenseful nature. Additionally, the story's focus on cloning and the nature of Ripley's resurrection was criticized by some.
She's stapled up, and her cracking baby is like, hey, why not? And she's like, hell no. And it's huge, by the way. It's pretty big.
Oh, it's small now, but that's also the theme in that. It's small now. It gets big later.
Which you can understand because, like, you know, it's all of a sudden she's 9 months pregnant.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the thing grows really fast. So it's locked up for now.
So she's running through the medical area, and then she comes into the room of the cryo area, and there's Peter Wayland being looked at by some of the crew. And David's there, and he sees Shaw, and he's like, oh, take my jacket. Like, the most normal thing in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, take me to the last surviving engineer.
This is the engineer that's alive. He's been in stasis how long? A long time. And the assumption is that they're going to bring him out of stasis and have a chat.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Sweet Amanda.
Yes.
Sweet.
Yes.
They get Shaw and everything all suited up and everything, and she's being like taken there after having a C-section, mind you, to the ship. They get there. They wake him up. David, who's translated the entire engineer language, is like talking to the engineer. The engineer's just like,
Speak to him, David. Tell him we came, just like he asked.
Itai, kuittu, prachtu, starsjasnt.
Va vuleteva, var gurdnonaya.
What did he say?
He asked to know why you're here.
Ask him where they're from.
What are you doing?
Ask him what's in his cargo. It killed his people.
Sure, it's enough. David.
You made it here, and it was meant for us. Why?
Sure, enough. For God's sake, shut her up.
I need to know why. What did we do wrong? Why do you hate us?
If she opens her mouth against Suter, David, continue. Tell him why I came.
Idrach manamai, kiana mortu steda, kuiva, on itam sostater kreda.
Uar nonem, ide mardium kat galgarste.
What did he say? What did he say?
I told him you wanted to live forever. He asked why.
Do you see this man? My company built him from nothing. I made him. And I made him in my own image so that he would be perfect. So that he would never fail. I deserve this. Because you and I, we are superior. We are creators. We are gods. And gods never die.
The engineer rips off David's head, throws it aside, kills Peter Wayland and the rest of the people there while Elizabeth escapes. And the engineer activates his ship and decides to complete the mission he was going to do and destroy Earth with the engine that is the black goo.
Yep.
Shaw talks to the Prometheus and the captain and tells them there won't be a home to go back to if that thing gets to Earth.
Well, what kills me, though, is They don't know anything about these engineers. You have one in stasis, you wake him up and you think he's going to be cool with you. And for a minute, it seems like he is, because he's probably just trying to figure out what the hell's going on. He's not cool.
They are the worst. But the interesting thing about this engineer is you think he's wearing a suit. Like,
yep,
that's his body.
it is.
And if you didn't notice, it looks very Xenomorph-like.
The engineers have advanced technology, leaving open the possibility that they had a hand in the Xenomorph's creation. The image of a Xenomorph on the wall of a room inside the structure on LV-223 suggests that the birth of the Deacon at the end of the film is not the very first Xenomorph. The similarities between the appearance of the Xenomorph and the engineers create speculation that both races share common ancestry or DNA.
Whatever happened to them failed spectacularly.
Big time. Well, there's only one left.
From what has been seen, yeah, that is the last real engineer.
They were going to find God, and instead they found an engineer that wants them to be eradicated.
Basically, you have unlocked an extinction level event.
Well, and they argue in front of the engineer, and that reaffirms everything about humanity they thought before.
Yep, and they are unworthy.
Oh my God, I forgot. So the engineer is watching them, taking it all in, and Shaw is trying to say, "Hey, I don't know if this is great." And Waylon who does it? Somebody hits her.
One of his armed guys.
Yeah, he's like, "Hey, make her shut up," and they hit her in the stomach. And the engineer sees that, and the engineer's like, "Oh yeah, I knew these were pieces of shit. I knew it.
I knew you were unworthy of everything."
Exactly. That's what humans do. Like, we act human when, we should probably act real nice because it's an engineer, but no, it's fine. Act like an asshole in front of him. It'll go well for you.
I feel like asshole is a byproduct of the engineers.
Yep.
Yeah, the ship's going off. It's going to drop all of the canisters and wipe them out. So Shaw contracts the captain. The captain makes a decision. Vickers is like, take us back to Earth now. And the captain tells her, you could stay here, or you can have another day in the escape pod. She chooses the escape pod. Vickers ejects off of the ship, and the rest of the crew kamikaze into the engineer's ship, and it starts crashing. And Shaw and Vickers are in its falling path, and they start running and everything. Shaw gets over to the side, rolls to the side. Vickers decides, I don't know why she decided to run straight. It's the Prometheus school of running, and was crushed under it.
Yep.
But so Charlize Theron is dead.
And by the way,
oh yeah,
you find out Charlize Theron was Waylon's daughter.
Did you really think I was gonna sit in a boardroom for years arguing over who was in charge while you go look for some miracle in some godforsaken rock in the middle of space? A king has his reign, and then he dies. That is the natural order of things.
Anything else?
No. Father.
Which really didn't add anything.
No. The only thing it does is show you that he is such a disconnected, narcissistic asshole that he doesn't care for his own child at all because she's not doing anything
to him.
Yeah.
Once David becomes useless, he views everything and everyone around him like a tool.
Yes.
To use and then tossed aside. That is what Peter represents.
And David thinks that he actually cares about him.
In the final moments, David realizes he doesn't.
Yep, he does.
But the ships all crashed and everything, and Shaw is the only one left alive. Oh, we have to go back, actually. I should have mentioned this. Fifield and what the black goo did to him.
Oh, yeah. Talk about that.
So, as all the things before the ship crashed and everything, Fifield has mutated into this abomination. In some deleted scenes, he actually looks more Xenomorph-like.
Mm-hmm.
But he starts killing them and crew members. He starts getting shot. He's taking bullets. They only managed to kill him by driving a vehicle over and over on him and burning him with the flamethrower. So the goo mutates horribly. Or it can do something else entirely.
So, you don't want to come in contact with the goo. You damn sure don't want to eat it. Shaw makes it, even though she has a run-in with the engineer.
But the thing is, David's the one who warns her. David's head is still, he's coming for you. He's pissed.
Elizabeth, are you there? This is David.
Yeah, I'm here.
You need to get out immediately.
He's coming for you.
The engineer is out for blood.
Mm-hmm.
He chases her, and she gets next to a door. He's about to get her, and she's like, "Die, motherfucker!" And unleashes the gigantic trilobite, which I know for a fact was like, "I'll save you, Mom."
Oh God, that's so sad.
I mean, it doesn't actually, but that in my head canon, that's what
I know. I agree. I totally agree. The engineer's creepy. He's looking for Shaw, and he looks up, and it's something.
Oh,
like,
yeah, that's from a deleted scene, actually.
I went down a rabbit hole a couple times. He walks into a room, and there's a screensaver that's showing like peaceful things and humanity at its best, and he's kind of looking at it and turns his head a little bit, and it's creepy as hell. And you're starting to think, well, maybe he thinks humanity's okay. Nah.
No, he don't.
No, he tries to kill Shaw right after that.
A trilobite is a creature that grew from an alien removed from shore. It was created from some of the black goo drank by Holloway, and after he and Shaw spent a night together, the creature developed quickly into an adult trilobite and shared a resemblance with a facehugger. It was being held in the med lab. The last engineer appeared to kill Shaw, and as he did, she opened the door of the med lab, releasing the trilobite. It grabbed and subdued the engineer, impregnating it.
They finally look underneath the trilobite, and it latches on him like a squid and everything, but then it puts a tube down its mouth and just covers on top of him.
Mm-hmm.
And you think, oh yeah, he's dead. Elizabeth goes back. David tells her there are more ships on this planet, and they could probably take one back to Earth. But she's like, no, I want to know where they've come from. They created us. Now I want to know why they wanted to kill us. So they go off into the stars. She leaves a final report of as the last surviving member of the Prometheus, and they leave the planet. Engineer. The trilobite is dead beside him, and that's finally starts having something coming ripping from Adam's apple to like his lower stomach. And this thing like slushes out and starts standing like a newborn deer. And this thing has like a goblin. What is it? It's an eel. I think it's an eel, or is it? It's the secondary jaw. I think it's from either a shark or an eel.
Oh yeah.
It was different from normal Xenomorphs.
Mm-hmm.
Because this thing had such a convoluted way of getting created. It's complicated.
The Deacon appears to have the overall look of a xenomorph. However, there are some major differences compared to a regular xenomorph. A Deacon has a sharp point at the end of his head, only has an upper jaw on his internal jaw, and has no tail. The Deacon's upper jaw appears to have human-like teeth, while his internal jaw and lower jaw have sharp, jagged teeth, giving the appearance of separate mouths. A mural is seen of the Deacon in the alien temple earlier. indicating either the deacon's birth was foretold, or it is not the first of its species. Please visit Girls Nerd Out on Instagram or on YouTube for some very interesting artwork and extra information.
You have like the Kraken thing, attaches itself to an engineer, and this thing comes out of the engineer. So this is a very interesting creature.
It's unique other than the fact that it shouldn't have existed in the first place.
Yeah.
But also the fact that the trilobite basically acted as a gigantic face hugger.
Yes. So what comes out does give you vibes of a xenomorph in the head shape.
Yes, but that's where the differences end, because its skin is more fleshy.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't look like the biomechanicalness of an actual xenomorph.
So let me ask you this.
Yes.
We've talked about this a bit before. So Shaw has David's head because she doesn't trust him. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. And David is like, hey, I'm going to be really nice to you because it'd be great if I could talk you through attaching my body, right?
Hey. Wait,
hey, girl.
We're going to reenact this scene.
Hey, girl.
Oh, I'm Shaw?
No,
okay.
no, you be David. I don't trust you.
Yes, I know. But think about this. You repair me. I can help you pilot the ship.
Well, how the hell do I know you're not going to just kill me?
Why would I do that, Miss Shaw? You saved me. We bonded, bro. We're homies for life. I had my head freaking ripped off from my body.
If I help you reattach your head, could we snuggle?
Only if I'm the little spoon, Miss Shaw.
I mean, that's a thing. That was going to be a thing that they were going to spoon.
But the thing is, I don't think test audience would like that.
No.
No one wants to see robot-human sex unless, I don't know.
Not with David. Not with creepy David.
Yeah, Michael Fassbender, beautiful man.
Yes. David's scary. If you go down a rabbit hole like I did and want to know more.
I told you not to go down that rabbit hole.
I liked it. It was interesting. It's creepy as hell. He's being nice to her. He's saying all the right stuff. And here's the thing. She has no one else to talk to.
A human on their own. We're
Yes.
a very social species. When we're alone, we get very depressed.
Very true.
And despite the fact of what people say is like, oh, I love being alone, you still have the option to talk to people next door, friends and everything, family. But you are alone completely with only one thing. You're going to talk to it. You're going to form a connection with it.
Yes. And this happens over time because he knows exactly what he's doing. Eventually, she puts his head on his body, and there's two options that they were considering. One is that he really did care about her.
Mm-hmm.
She ends up getting ill, and he puts her in stasis and starts doing experiments to try to save her using the DNA from the goo, and it doesn't go well for her at all.
Not one bit, though.
No. And then there's the other option, which is, no, he didn't really ever care about her. He was just acting like that. And now he has this female human body to do goo experiments on.
The thing is, you could interpret it both ways, actually.
I come to you with an olive branch. You may know me, and you certainly know of my creator. I am David, son of the late Peter Wayland, your company's founder. Following his vision, I have gone to the far edges of space, and with the aid of Dr. Elizabeth Shaw, I found a rotting paradise. I washed this world clean as a gift to her. We could have built anew. a second Eden. But she refused.
The cool thing about it is the fact that you could view it in both ways, but it still comes to the same thing. John dies, and the only one who knows what happened is David.
True. And she doesn't just die.
I feel like we should save that for the next.
Yeah, we'll save that, because if we end this right now, y'all are definitely going to come back, because there's so much more, and that's what we want. We want y'all to know there's really creepy stuff, and it gets weirder and weirder. So yeah, this is going to be a series, and we'll get into more of that, because it's a lot.
And I can actually get into the biology.
Yes.
Of creatures, which is my forte.
Thank you so much, Zach. This was a great intro into this world. There's so much to talk about, and I'm so appreciative that you took your time, because I love this, and we have some very interesting alien content coming out soon. Alien Earth.
I am really fascinated with it.
Yep.
Really fascinated.
Yes, which I think Alien Earth coming out is why people are going to want to listen to this, because they're going to want to understand what happened and how all of it came to be. So.
Exactly. And I'm happy to help you explain to people like how it goes. I know it was very brief synopsis, but I think the best way in deciphering how the films are by watching them yourself.
Yes.
And making judgments for yourself.
Right. So watch and then listen to us, and we'll try to fill in gaps and give you, a bit of extra information from deleted scenes, scripts that were kind of scrapped, things that, might have been in a comic or.
I am excited for that. I am excited.
Yeah. So thank y'all so much. And don't worry, there's going to be plenty of alien content. Hey, it's Amanda here. Thank you for listening to my podcast. And if you don't mind, go on over to YouTube and Instagram and follow the podcast there. And that way you'll get alerted the next time an episode drops. Hope you enjoy.